New York is in the center of attention again in the music industry, and not for a good reason this time. I'll tell you why. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? My name is Sweet D, and I'm so glad you have found me on this channel. We like to talk about music, business, finance, and all things guitar related right here every Monday and Thursday. If you are new here, I thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know what is coming next. That's the artist of the day. Let's get to it. Today, we're going to talk about Verlorner. Who is Verlorner, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. Verlorner is the brainchild of Emil Würstler, which I happen to believe is one of the greatest guitar players living right now on planet Earth. His past bands include Doth and Chimera, and he finally stepped out on his own after all these years and recorded a record just a year or two ago called Verlorner. The project before COVID toured with Tony McAlpine, who he's also been touring with as a part of his band, and it was literally devastating audiences across the country and in Mexico. If you're a fan of heavy music with a lot of melodic content, you are going to love Verlorner, and it's just one of the best instrumental projects I've heard in some time. So hats off to you, Emil. You're the man. So let's get to this whole like New York screwing everything up thing. All right? All right. So in case you didn't know, at the beginning of all this COVID nonsense, New York instituted a ticketing ban, and that ban basically said that if you are a music venue or a comedy venue or anything that requires selling tickets, you are no longer allowed to do that for the safety of the people that may come. And in the beginning, I think everybody was down with that. I mean, we didn't know where this COVID thing was going, and here we are pretty much 6 months in now, and we still don't know where it's going. But the difference is the opinions and the overall feeling of this particular virus is slowly evolving in a lot of people's minds, and musicians are not really being taken care of by the government so much to speak right now. So in light of all this, they started having ticketed events again, of course, safely distanced like a restaurant or something. In response to this, a couple of days ago, New York reminded everyone the ticket ban is still in play, and they threatened to take away anybody's liquor license who didn't follow the law. So the New York State government officials are really holding strong on this, and they're strongly advising against all these concerts and comedy events and whatever not happening. With this friendly reminder from the New York government about how things are to be limited during this time, now musicians are starting to really feel the hurt, especially since PUA is currently not being distributed. The artist community obviously took action, and immediately owners started speaking out of clubs saying, this is totally not fair because you're letting restaurants come in and open and spacing people 6 feet apart, and they're able to come in and buy a dinner, and they're being served by people with the plate and everything, and you're just letting people move like that. Whereas a music club or a comedy club could be operating under the same sort of restrictions, and people can still sell tickets and people can still make money as artists. And so the artist community is left with where are we going with this, and what are we doing? It's just yet another example of government not really understanding how the function of art works in our society from an execution standpoint. And quite frankly, it's a broken record, and it's been happening for decades and decades now. People on Capitol Hill and people in our local governments don't understand the complexities of an artist's career. I don't necessarily know how fast we're able to turn their minds around, but I will say this, that the musician community in New York is always resilient, and they took action. In just 2 days, they amassed just under 8,000 e-signatures calling for a stop to this particular piece of legislation. And again, simply saying it's unfair that you're letting some restaurants open and not these clubs who are not serving food, but simply showing up and entertaining people. The United Entertainment Industry Professionals, which is a new sort of union that started up in New York, they are taking this on head on and considering legal action and actually kind of threatening it, saying that you can't continue to operate under these conditions where one side is getting taken care of while the other is not. And the side that we're talking about here not being taken care of is, in fact, musicians and artists. So while I understand it's important that we all stay safe, and it's really important that we do what's in our best interest to stay safe, if you're going to open up things for a restaurant, you have to open things up for a music club. It's just the way it should happen. One should not be treated really much different than the other. They both serve food. They both serve alcohol. The only difference is one plays music or one gives comedy and one doesn't. And you sit right across from your friends less than 6 feet apart and have a conversation with them. So I don't understand why a music club couldn't just space chairs 6 feet apart and have people show up and enjoy art in a time where they so desperately need it. So in the comments below, I'll leave a link to some of the stuff that I found on the internet if you would like to support their cause or you'd like to just read up on what's going on. And if you really want to keep in the know of what's going on, you'll click that like button and maybe consider subscribing too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and getting the word out about all kinds of causes like this one. That's all I have for today. Again, I'm Sweet Deet. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out the channel, and I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you again soon. Please comment down below and let me know what you think of this law. Should it be enforced? Maybe it shouldn't. You got a topic you want me to talk about? Leave it in the comments below. I love hearing from you, and I'm so thankful for you taking the time to see this video. Check you later.